Hey guys, what I got for you today is a 2004 Mercury Monterey, or a Ford Freestar, same thing, with a 4.2 liter engine in it. And we have lean codes, and we also have O2 sensor codes for being stuck lean, same thing. At first you'll get the 171, 174 codes for bank 1 and 2 lean, and then you'll start seeing the 2195 and 97 there for the O2s just being stuck so lean they actually fault them also. So these codes were common on the old Windstars, and those had the intake seals that leaked and the isolator bolts, and that was pretty common. And there was valve cover issues with the deflector in there for the PCV system and all kinds of issues. And then they came out the new Freestars and Montereys and fixed everything and freshened them up, and now they got their own lean code problems. And this one's a little bit less common, but nevertheless it's a problem that should not be happening based on material. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the customer's concern on this one was actually it dies at an idle. Or if you're driving down the road and then you come to an idle, start it up and let it idle, stuff like that, it would run so poorly that it would actually die out, especially when you put it into gear. And that was because the fuel trims were way off, so far off that the engine actually died. So you can see that it's actually running fairly decent. I mean, you can hear it's got a little bit of a rolling idle, but it's definitely running pretty decent. It starts fine and all that, and I guess they recently had someone else look at it, and they decided to change the EGR valve, figuring it was stuck open, causing it to die out, and that was an expensive guess by them. And then they finally gave up, and they still had the issue, and then they finally brought it into the dealership. Alright, so if you are having these issues with the 171, 174 codes, are coming up on your scanner there, what you need to do is check the air intake system here for leaks, unmetered air that is not being measured by the mass airflow sensor, so it's beyond this point. Check for cracks in here. There's that hose right here. That's the ventilation hose for the PCV system. Those usually get left out and disconnected, and they'll suck air. And then any other vacuum lines around the actual engine, you got to make sure that they're all connected and not split or anything like that. So what's real common on these is for the actual PCV hose here to get so oil soaked over the years and deteriorate that it'll actually swell and get soft, and then the vacuum from the engine will actually suck the hose in, make a hole into it. And usually it doesn't happen down here, it happens over here more than anything else at the intake. And you could see the hole here, and maybe underneath, and maybe on the back side here, maybe on the inside of the elbow here, but this one's right here on top. Now, you can hear this one leaking, but it's not always this evident. And what you can do to test it, you see how the idle's revving up and down, up and down. What you can do is you put your finger on here, and it'll either die because of the major change in vacuum and the actual actual air coming into the system. The measurement's way off at that point instantly, or it'll straighten itself out. So you can hear it idling up and down, struggling, running like garbage. This is in park, so there's low load on the engine. And if you probably put it in drive right now, it'll probably die out. So we're going to put our finger on it. And all of a sudden, everything runs perfectly smooth. Pull your finger off, and it goes right back to its same shenanigans. Okay, we got our parts in. PCV valve and hose, and this is a heated PCV, so it's a little more expensive. but at 115, 120,000, I think we're due. And I'll put the part numbers down in the description also, so you know, but your dealer can look them up also. So this hose actually just pulls off the PCV valve, and then the same thing over here at the intake, but it may take a little bit more persuasion. Kind of gets dry rotted on there. Like that. Alright, so hopefully this new one will last a little bit longer and not deteriorate like that. It's got a different design to it on both ends, so we'll see. And this PCV valve, you just disconnect the actual electrical connector and put it to the side, and then get a pair of pliers, and then you get on there when it's in the valve cover, and you just turn it to the left and it'll come up and out of there. It's like a quarter turn style. And it's got a little locking tab on there. Once you get past that, it'll unscrew right out of there. This one's definitely due. We're going to clean the hole out real quick and put the new one back in there. Goes in like that, and then you can start turning it, and then it'll lock down just like that. Put our electrical connector on it before we forget. There we go. Okay. Besides that, it just pushes on here. Goes like this, obviously. And it should fit on nice and snug. So there's no... Oh yeah. There's no new vacuum leaks that way. And then the most important part is to disconnect your negative battery cable for at least 10 minutes so that codes will clear, obviously, and most importantly is the cam will be reset on the PCM so it relearns the correct fuel trims. Now once you've cleared the memory in the PCM, just let it idle like this for about 5 to 10 minutes until it gets warm, and with no accessories on, no lights, no radio, no AC, nothing, and it'll learn the new fuel trims and of course the IAC trim on there. So it just goes to show a little bit of looking around, a little bit of diagnosis instead of just throwing parts at it. And literally all it was a vacuum leak, and a very simple vacuum leak to repair. Whereas another shop looked at it and slapped a couple $100 EGR system module on it and just didn't fix it. In the end though, it's fixed, it's done, and it's out of here.